if that spouse does not sign it, it does not mean you have to marry them, or you don't have. Or if the spouse refuses to sign it, you can still be together. Now, however which way they feel and their emotions and their feelings, right? You can, but on paper, you can still be together. You can still be boyfriend and girlfriend and madly in love as you were before. You don't have to get married. Marriage is something you don't have to do. It is something you should want to do under the right circumstances, and not just for love, but under the right circumstances encompassing love. All right. I can't make it any more clearer than that. So take that and digest that. So in my talks amongst peoples and what I'm hearing and seeing on the internet as I browse and peruse is that a lot of people have a stigma. I wouldn't even call it a stigma, a misconception or an urban myth about prenuptial agreements. It's a nasty myth about prenuptial agreements. And it's nasty because it's purely out of ignorance. It's purely out of ignorance, and it's comfortably accepted. And that's the problem. The myth is that prenups are only for rich people. Tear that down, tear down that statue, kick over that sacred cow. You know what I'm saying? Piss on that grave. Like, get that out of here. Prenups are for everyone. Prenups are for everyone. I guarantee you, if you walk into a lawyer's office and you want him to draw up a prenuptial agreement for you, he wouldn't turn you away. The only reason that lawyer would turn you away is if you didn't have the money to pay him to draw up the paperwork. And if you can't afford the money to draw up the paperwork for a prenuptial agreement, then you really can't afford a marriage. But that's another conversation. But let's knock down this myth. Let's kill this myth that prenups are only for rich people. So I'm going to go straight in, and stay with me, because halfway in, I want to get into, I want to talk about whether a woman, and I want to, first of all, I'm a heterosexual male, so I'm going to address the women. But I want, after I talk about who or the purpose of a prenuptial agreement and who it benefits and who it protects, I want to talk about if a woman signing or refusing to sign a prenup, determining whether she loves you or not. I want to get into that, okay? So stay with me. Stay with me. It's gonna be a bumpy ride, but it's gonna be tons of fun. All right. So a prenup is it's about debt and not just wealth. So you don't necessarily have to have money to have a prenup. It's protecting your future money or your negative net worth. So the marriage combines the liabilities and not just the lives. So the risk is, without a prenup, you may be liable for your spouse's student loans, credit card balances, or business debts. Creditors can sometimes go after marital assets to satisfy one partner's pre-existing debt or another. The fix is, a prenup creates a firewall, clearly assigning who owns which debts and ensuring premarital obligations remain the sole responsibility of the borrower. And also, you can also clarify how much of the debt up to a certain amount or up to a certain time frame. You can get real specific. But basically, well, I talked about, I didn't get into future income just yet, well, future net worth just yet, but it protects you from the debt. So what you came in with, a prenup keeps you leaving what you came in with. You know what I mean? Especially the debt. I'm trying to run through this quick. The prenup also protects quote unquote sweat equity and future income. Most people don't have assets now, they have earning potential and trajectory. Business growth. If you're an entrepreneur or have a side hustle, a prenup ensures that the business and its future growth remains separate property. So let's say you had a business and you came into the marriage with a business that you've been running. And let's say me, for instance, if I were to get married and I've been operating Prosperity U LLC, and it blows up, it makes millions of dollars after I get married. If I have a prenup, I can protect that. I can protect Prosperity U LLC, and all the proceeds that I get from that blow up or from that sell off after I blow up will stick with me. You know what I mean? Because it was ordained in the prenup. You know what I mean? Without this, a spouse could legally own a percentage of your business's growth, potentially forcing a sale during a divorce. And it doesn't specify how much of a percent. I mean, everyone says half, but that half can be 60-40, can be 75-25, 60-40 one way, 60-40 the other way. You know what I'm saying? There's no specification. You're so vulnerable without it. So the income shield. You can shield future commissions, IPs, royalties, or equity growth that you earn during the marriage, rather than having it automatically classified as marital property. And there's a thing called community property. People joke about it in regards to men, but we're not going to touch that. That's a different show. But there are certain states that are community property states. So I don't want to confuse myself or you as to what a community property state is. But I do know that there were a couple celebrity marriages that were strategically formed. So Derek Jackson, when he married his wife that he made a mockery of or over the internet, he made sure to marry her in Texas because Texas has certain protective laws. You know what I mean? And I'm pretty sure she's still married to him. She's still living the life, you know? The young football player who came out of Deion Sanders' program, I forget his name, but everybody, the entire country was making a mockery of him because he was wrapped around that little half Mexican girl's finger. They made a point to get married in Tennessee because Tennessee has, I think, community property. If I may stand corrected, all the attorneys, please correct me. But Tennessee has community property laws where, regardless of a prenup, it doesn't honor like the division of assets. Like it doesn't honor a prenup when it comes to the division of assets. It gets evenly split. So she made it pertinent to get married in a state like Tennessee, even though they live in Jacksonville. Crazy, right? It's crazy, but this is real. So number one, it's about debt, not just wealth. Number two, it protects future income. And number three, it replaces the state's default plan with your plan. So basically the judge has to go by what the prenup says. You know what I mean? And if there's no prenup, you do what the judge says. You know what I mean? So you can basically be, with a prenup, you can be your own judge. Or you and your spouse, you and your fiance can be your own judge in that courtroom. And the judge is like, okay, what y'all want to do? You know what I mean? It says right here that written in document, blah, 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 section such and such, line such and such, that I have to order this, that, and the other. So that's what we're doing, which I want to do. You know what I mean? And so the court will actually uphold the prenup and do what y'all say. I think the only thing that doesn't get governed by a prenup is child support. Child support is governed by the state, is determined by the state. And simply because you're not married to your child, you're married to your spouse. You're not divorcing your child, you're divorcing your spouse. You can't divorce a child. So the state, your children are on the grid, so they belong to the state. Implicitly, not explicitly, you know? So marriage is already a legal contract. If you don't sign a prenup, you are agreeing to the default prenup written by state legislators who don't know you. You avoid judicial discretion. So without prenup, a judge decides how to divide your assets based on the equitable distribution. Yeah, that's exactly what I said. So you can waive or set limits on spousal support, i.e. alimony.
Do that freaky jam on the beat. Busy with that butter shit, that bone beat. Did you double kiss that song thing? Flicky with some butter, so that bone thing. If you cheeky cheddar check, I get her own cheese. It's a chicken with that head or this up, that won't be with the official with that whole sleeve. Bloody see each other, wish that with that long.
I got racks to the ATM jam. Tell me what you wanna do. I got racks to the ATM jam. Tell me what you wanna do. You a badass bitch. And don't get swallowed in that fat ass bitch. I got racks to the ATM jam. Tell me what you wanna do. I got racks to the ATM